Hey, welcome to New Entry Wrestling Podcast. Today we're going into the biography of this guy right here, Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash is one of the most iconic pro wrestlers of all time, a career spanning over 30 years in various promotions, including the WWF slash WWE, WCW, TNA, and much more. He would go on under the names of the Great Oz, Vinny Vegas, Master Blaster, Steel, Dr. X, Chet Lemon, and not most famously as Big Daddy Cool Diesel, baby, in the WWF. He was a founding member of the NWO with Scott Hall and Hulk Hogan. He's a one-time WWF champion and a one-time Intercontinental champion, a two-time WWF Tag Team champion, a two-time WWE Hall of Famer, 2015 by himself, and 2020 with the NWO. He's a five-time WCW World Heavyweight Champion. He's also a nine-time WCW Tag Team Champion, a two-time TNA's Legend Champion, a one-time TNA Tag Team Champion, and so much more. Also, PWI number one wrestler in 1995, and yeah, it's crazy, right? All right, he was born Kevin Scott Nash on July 9th, 1959, in Detroit, Michigan. He lost his father at a young age. At the age of 8, that's where his dad died at the age of 8 of a heart attack. His mother passed away in 1994 due to a 4-year struggle with breast cancer, unfortunately. He ended up going to University of Tennessee, where he majored in psychology and minored in educational philosophy. He ended up playing center for the Volunteers basketball team. So he was on the Tennessee Volunteers team from 1977 to 1980, eventually making a Sweet 16 appearance. So that's pretty sweet. He would eventually leave the team where he had issues with the coach and others on campus due to incidents and ended up leaving. He would go ahead and move on to Europe, playing various basketball teams, ending his career in 1981 in Germany after tearing his ACL. Unfortunately, that'll be a common theme throughout his wrestling career. Um, when his career ended, he ended up going to the army where he did other jobs as well and decided to join pro wrestling finally. In 1990, he debuted in SW as Steel, uh, was one half of the Master Blaster, later repackaged as Oz in 1991, which was based on the Wizard of Oz, obviously. Um, in 1993, he would go into WEF as Diesel. That's where he became most famous. Um, Eventually, he would, but that's before then. But before that, he's Vinny Vegas in '92, and then, like I said, 1993 he became Diesel. Like I said, he worked with Shawn Michaels, so that's before going solo. Eventually, on November 26, 1994, Diesel won the WWF Championship from Bob Backlund in a squash match, losing it after a year. I think after a year he lost it. Towards the end of March of that year, his contract was up and SW was calling, so you know how it goes. He ended up going to WCW with Scott Hall as the Outsiders, and eventually having Hulk Hogan join and became the NWO. The NWO obviously teared through the WCW scene. They owned WCW. Eventually, it was their downfall as well. So when WCW, ended up folding in 2002, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, they went to business for themselves in the WWE as the NWO again. A No Way Out, they debuted with Hulk Hogan. um, where put himself in the world title picture. In 2004, he ended up leaving WWE and ended up going to TNA. From 2004 to 2011, he was there. He was a champion. Like I say, he was in multiple factions, also multiple feuds. He did indies for a little bit. Eventually, he returned to WWE, like most people do, where he was inducted into WWE Hall of Fame. Um, and yeah, so that's pretty much since then he's been podcasting, he's been doing other things, podcasting himself. He's done multiple films and stuff like that. I think he was in The Longest Yard. He was in other films as well. So yeah, that's a brief bio, a quick bio of Kevin Nash and his career in pro wrestling. I thank you guys so much, and I hope you enjoyed. And this is New Interesting Podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow. Check us out on all our social media, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Thank you guys. Bye.
Yay!